collapse zone are left trying to figure out what's next. Here to talk about the latest in the investigation and how agencies are stepping up to help are Joy Squier, Chief Communications Officer for the American Red Cross Illinois region, Chicago Deputy Fire Commissioner Cynthia Herring, and 29th Ward Alderman Chris Taliaferro. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Alderman, let's start with you, please. What can you tell us? What do we know about the status of the survivors and their injuries tonight?
I've been informed by our Chicago Fire Department that we have approximately 8 people that have been injured, some more serious than others. And I am very thankful and grateful that there are no fatalities that I believe as of this point.
Okay. And we know that those people have been taken to multiple area hospitals for care. Deputy Commissioner, what is the status of the building right now?
The building is currently still being it's being investigated for the cause of this problem, and so we're working with the police department and ATF and other agencies to determine what the cause is. So there's nothing there's no conclusion at this time as to what happened.
And when firefighters are called to a scene like that, what are some of the first steps they need to take to make sure that people are safe?
Well, the original call came in as a still alarm, which was immediately escalated upon the 1st Battalion Chief arriving and seeing that the top of the building was exploded, as he reported. So immediately that caused us to escalate the alarm to a still in box and also ask for an EMS plan, one, given the propensity of what the occupancy was, how many people were possibly in the building. So we had an initial 5 ambulances, and it was again later escalated to an EMS plan 2, which gives us 10 ambulances at the scene to address the initial rescues and transport of those injured.
Joy, what is it that the American Red Cross is doing right now for the people who live in the building and those who live in the area and have been displaced?
Well, at the Red Cross, our hearts go out to those that have been impacted by this tragic disaster, and that's what this explosion really is. It's an emergency, and the Red Cross responds to emergencies. So today we set up at a local church in Austin at the Circle Union Ministries Church, a reunification center for families. We have a shelter there this evening. We've been providing food, shelter, disaster mental health counseling, health services support, which means if you need medication replacement or medical device replacement, like a walker or a cane will help you. And we're there helping people think about how they can eventually move toward recovery. So our volunteers are on site right now at that church. And we're grateful to that church and the Austin community for allowing us to be there.
Deputy Commissioner, we also reference what's called the collapse zone. How would you describe how broad that is and what's included and what it means for the folks who live within that area?
We established a collapse zone for the safety of our first responders, as well as those persons that are being removed from the building and the adjacent building. We also had to evacuate. So we just want to make sure that we establish that collapse zone in case there's a secondary collapse, that we put no one at risk for further injury, and we put none of our members at risk for further injury or injury at all.
How broad or how wide would you say that area is?
Generally, we look or 2.5 times the height of the building will give us a sufficient amount of collapse room in case there's a secondary collapse, and that it'll keep everyone out of harm's way.
Alderman Taliaferro, what do we know about this building?
Well, the only reports that I've received with regard to the building is, other than a few inspections that have been failed previously, I believe in 2020, there have been no major complaints, especially there have been none made with my office. However, I do believe that the Department of Building have reported that there were some inspection failures as well as complaints made by some of the residents within the facility, within the building.
Alderman, what are some of the other agencies that you've been in touch with? Because, of course, there's been speculation about whether or not gas is related to this. Have you heard from ComEd on this?
Well, I've heard from People's Gas, and I do understand that that ATF is on the scene as well. But I particularly, Brandy, want to thank the American Red Cross, the Chicago Police Department, Chicago Fire Department, the community organizations that came out to the scene, our faith-based leadership, and our other elected officials that have all are trying to bring resources to the community so that those that are injured and displaced can have a time of transition that whereby the community can provide resources to them. So I do want to particularly thank all of those organizations that are really stepping up and showing the city that Austin supports them.
And of course, People's Gas, not ComEd. I misspoke earlier. Meanwhile, Alderman, what are you hearing from your residents and neighbors in that area?
Well, this is going to be long-term recovery for the residents in the building. Particularly even one young lady that lives in the building told me that everything that she has was within that building. She even left out without her cell phone, and so this is going to be a long-term recovery for a lot of the families. I believe it's a 35-unit building, so you have quite a few families that are going to be displaced and that are going to be affected over the next several months to even beyond a year to be able to recover from what they've experienced today.
Joy Squier, we just heard the alderman say this is going to be a long-term recovery, and obviously your organization is providing some of those immediate needs for folks right now. But what other resources are they going to need going forward, and what's next for them?
The Red Cross is there along with other organizations, and we're there to help the community as long as need be. We'll probably set up a multi-agency resource center is what we call, a longer-term facility where people can come and get resources from a variety of organizations and groups. We're there working with the aldermen, working with Cook County, the Chicago Fire Department, Chicago Police Department, and other organizations on helping people figure out what's next. The Red Cross responds in emergencies, and this is an emergency. You can't recover overnight, and we're going to be there helping the community.
Commissioner, we just talked about, the area around the building, that collapse zone. What needs to happen in order for you all to lift that and folks to be able to return to homes that were not necessarily damaged in the same way?
Our primary concern is to make sure that we rescue, find, and remove any victims. And then we begin our systematic searches to see if there's any remaining victims, and then see the extent of the damage, and to begin the process of shoring those floors where the most extensive damage occurred to ensure that the building is safe enough to enter, and we can continue with our ongoing investigation as to what happened and why it happened and how it happened. And again, working with other agencies to determine that is our primary focus and goal.
And just to be clear, Deputy Commissioner, do you believe that there are any other victims to be found, or is your department confident that that part is done?
We're confident that we removed every victim and every person, not only in the collapsed building, but even the adjacent building was also evacuated to ensure that all persons were out of any harm's way or are not in any danger that could occur if there were a secondary collapse. So yes, we're confident that we removed and rescued all persons.
Understood. Best of luck to the three of you in the work that lies ahead. Thank you for joining us. 29th Ward Alderman Chris Taliaferro, Deputy Fire Commissioner Cynthia Herring, and Joy Squier at American Red Cross.